This conference will now be recorded.
Good morning, friends. Welcome to GoOnlineTrainings.com. We are discussing about views and indexed views. Yesterday, we had seen what is the purpose of the view, and we discussed a couple of points over there. And we had also seen what is the need for the view, and let us see some more points today. So, how to create a view, how to create a view from more than one database and more than one server, all these things we're going to discuss. And we cannot create views on temporary tables when temporary views are not available, and explicit names to be given if you have expressions, constant segregation, something like this. And order by keyword is not supported inside the view, right? So how to create a view? Create a view name as a query, so we can have a single query as part of the view. And if you wanted to read the data from the view, select star from the view name. And if you wanted to drop the view, you can drop this view like this. And if you wanted to see the code of the view, sp underscore help text view name. Get all the view names means select star from the sys.views. This is a system table. Now let us concentrate today. What are the limitations of the views? Okay, inside the view, only single query is allowed. That is one limitation. No programming is allowed. What do you mean by programming? If and else, creating a variables, and all these things are not allowed. Okay, so programming, we did not touch it, right? So when you learn Python or C++, Java, .NET, you learn a programming. But in SQL Server, we are started with SQL, how to retrieve the data, how to store the data. But after this, views class, we're going to be starting a programming. Then you will understand what do you mean by programming. No insert, no update, no delete statements are, allowed inside the view. No order by clauses allowed. No parameters are allowed. Views always executes the query, hence slow. So whenever you create a view and call the view, what happens? Underline, okay? So the query will get executed. It is going to be getting the data. Views always get fresh data from the table. So that is what is the important thing that you need to understand. For example, I simply go and create a view. So let me say use iBank. Okay. So what is the need for the view? To centralize the code, right? So yesterday we discussed about how to create a view and all, right? So create view VW get branch wise customers. Okay, branch wise customers underscore count. Okay, so I would like to create one view like this. Select branch wise means branch id comma count star as count from the table name account master table group by. Okay, group by branch id. That's it. So when I execute, when I press F5, this view is created. So what is a view? View is nothing but a query only. One query, not more than one query. This query may have subqueries. This query may have joins. This query may have ranking functions. Whatever you wanted to write, you can write it, but only single query. Clear? So there is a name, right? There is a name, and this is what is called query. So this is centralized here. So views also something like a derived tables only, right? So how do you create a derived table? You're going to be creating a query like this, right? So we know about derived tables and everything, right? So what is derived table? We write select star from the open the bracket, and we give some query, and this query will have a name as k, right? If you see, there is a name here and there is a query here. There is a name here, there is a name here, there is a query here, right? See, when you execute, you're going to get some data, but this query is not going to, store anywhere. So that is the problem. If I close this, this is, this is is going to go away, right? So, but if I create a view, and the view is also having a query and there is a name, and only extra thing is that create a view, right? So this is a derived table. There is a name to given that, but it is not going to be centralized. It is not going to be centralized. So derived tables, when you create, when you close the connection, that is gone. But once you create this view, if you wanted to if you wanted to close this window, you can easily close it, because you should be able to see the view here, right? So what is the purpose of the view? View is going to be storing a single query. So the view is here. And if you wanted to call the view, so how do we call the view? It's very, very simple. Call a view is always select star from the view name. So nobody knows what is the logic inside the query, and nobody knows what are the tables you have used it, and you should be able to see the complete data. Clear? So if you wanted to see this complete view, okay, sp underscore help text, you can see the complete code of the view, right? Code of the view. If you wanted to see sp underscore help text and in single quotes view name. So this is what is view name. So that I wanted to execute. So you can see the complete view that you have written. So copy this and paste it. You can see the complete code. Have you seen? So you can get the query back. Clear? If you create a derived table or if you create anything else, you will not be able to get the code at all because code is gone, right? So this is the beauty about it. Now, I wanted to know this is my, view, and I wanted to know, which branch has more number of customers. Now, this is a view, right? This is a view. Which branch has more number of customers? So that I wanted to find it out. So what I do? So first I would like to find, so what is the branch? What is the max? So I'll say, I'll use the same query. I'll use the same query. Max of what? Max of CNT, right? So I need to find out what is the maximum here from this query, and 18, but I don't need 18. I need where the CNT is equivalent to this one. Clear? So I should be able to use the view here, right? So when I execute this, I should be able to get branch BR1. So I'm going to be using a view here. Okay. So this view is going to be giving me the complete count. Clear? So branch wise data. Now, so when you execute this, the query will get executed. It is going to be getting the data. Clear? And later, what is going to happen? So using the view, I wanted to find out which is the branch which is getting which is having more number of customers. So first I create the view and find out what is the maximum of CNT. So this is max. What is the max? 18. So that you're going to be getting it. So sorry, that you're going to be getting it. Now 18, then 18 will get substituted. So wherever the count equals to 18, get the name is equivalent to BR1. So you can use the views and everything as part of your queries, and views are nothing but a single query. So the query can have joins, subqueries, this one, that one, lot of data. You should be able to have it. So if you see this query, you don't know whether you're getting the data from multiple tables, single tables. Nobody knew about it. Okay, let me create one more query, one more view. So what is a view? View is nothing but a single query. So let me tell you something. This is my table. This is my table. On top of the table, I'm writing some code. So normally, how do you retrieve the data? We are going to be retrieving the data with the help of a query, right? So the query, we are going to be writing it here. So the query will be as part of your view. Okay. So this is what view underscore get my balance. This is the view. So get my balance is the query. So whenever you execute a view, so what happens? You are going to be getting some data, right? The data will be in the table format only. Right? So this is your table, original table. You are going to be getting some data. For example, you are going to be getting, say, get employee. You are going to be writing VW get employee. So you're going to be writing some query, right? The query would be select, employee ID, employee name, salary from table where, location equals to America. So something like this. You will be able to get some data from this table. This table may be employee table, right? So whenever you execute a view is executing a query. The query will be executing, gets the fresh data, and this is how it is going to show the data, right? So the information from the view is a table again, right? So this is also a table. It looks like a table. When you execute anything, it is going to be giving you a table. But this is not the real table. This is what is called virtual table. Okay. So view is called as a virtual table. Why? Because it is not a real table. Real table data it is bringing. So view is called as virtual table. Remember this. So many people will say views are called as what? Virtual table. It is going to go and get the subset of the data from this table, and view always will have a single query only. So what is a view? View is a virtual table. For example, if you have 1A10 and if you have 2B20, okay. So when you execute it, you will be able to get 1A10, 2B20 now. So after some day, this 20 may become 30 and this 10 may become 12. Again, when you execute the query, what happens? It is going to go and get the fresh data only. You will be able to get 1A12, 2B20 because it is not going to store the data anywhere. View is not going to store the data anywhere. Always, which is going to go and gets the data from the employee table, always the query will get executed. It will get the fresh data. For example, I have created a get customer sub branch BR1. Let me execute this view, right? So select star from the view name. So this is my view name. So what is the view? View is a query. What query you have inside this, that I don't know, but there is a view. There is a query inside this. When you execute this, it is bringing all customers, right? All customers. And total we have 18 customers. Now, I wanted to change the name of this billion, right? So you can update account master table. Now you say set name is equivalent to uh, I wanted to 123 data, right? So this I wanted to have as a Biden. So I would like to change this name, okay, where account ID is equivalent to 123. So I have a name called Anil, so that I wanted to modify in the table. So the modification is done in the table. Select star from the table, right? So table, the modification is taken place when you execute 123, right? It is a Biden. So let me execute the view now. View is always getting the data. View is always getting the data. And you see the 123 is Biden. So this view does not store data anywhere. View is going to go to its query and gets the data always from the table only. View is not going to store data anywhere. That's what is very, very important thing. Many people think that many people think that a view is going to store the data somewhere. No, view, if the view is getting the data, you will get multiple copies of the data in your hard disk, right? So view is nothing but a query. Whenever you call the view, the query will get executed. It is going to get in the fresh data only. So that is what is the good one, and that is what is the bad one also. Why bad one? If you have a complex query here, if you have a large amount of data here, and a query will take a lot of time to execute, right? If you have little data, then these queries are very very faster. Why? Because in my table I have very limited data, but when you have a large amount of data in your databases, it will take a lot of time to execute it, because when you have large amount of data and complex query means you have joins, you have group by clause, you have aggregate functions, and you have lot of things are available. On top of that, these tables are having a large amount of data. When you execute this view may take a lot of time. Clear? So normal views are very very dangerous when you have large amount of data, because views always gets the fresh data. Views always executes the query which is available inside the view, right? How many queries we can write inside a view? Only single query is allowed. You cannot write two queries inside the view. That is the limitation of the view. Am I clear? So the next problem is that views always gets the fresh data. So this is also a good one, but because since it is getting a fresh data, it has to execute the complete query once again from top to bottom, right? So because of that, the customers may be unhappy when you have large amount of data. Clear? Especially in OLTP applications, views are good, especially in OLAP applications. See, OLAP means data warehousing, right? So what is the data warehouse? The data warehouse is also one more, database. So in that database also, if you see in my this one, so this is a normal database, this is a normal database, this is a data warehousing database. So data warehousing is also one more database only. So here inside again you have a table, you have a primary key, foreign key, views, everything is available, views, everything is available, stored procedures, all of them are available, because data warehousing means it is also one more database only. In the data warehouse also you can write views, primary keys, foreign key, check constraints, triggers, and everything you're going to be writing, right? So data warehousing means you're going to be having a large amount of historical data of this company. That's it, nothing else. Clear? So both of them are databases only. So you have 1 year data in this database, and you may have lost 20 years of data in this database, but both of them are databases only. When you create a view, these views may be faster in OLTP databases, right? But these views are very very slow when you create in this, because these views are going to be getting a large amount of data from these tables. Now when you create normal views here, it is going to be failing. So I'm talking about data warehousing databases. Clear? So both of them are databases you can have in your SQL server only, right? So that's what is very, very important. So the normal views are good in OLTP, but normal views are not very good in OLAP applications or data warehousing application. Data warehouse is also one more database. You will have again queries, views, and indexes, store procedures. Everything is possible in your data warehousing, because data warehouse is one more database in your SQL Server or in Oracle. Clear? So that's what you should know. Now, if you have an employee table, so this is what is going to happen. Now many people will ask me some few questions about views. What are the types of the views that you have it? There are two types of views are available. One is called updatable view, read and write view. The second one is called non-updatable view, read only view. Updatable views means same number of columns to be there in the table and views. Otherwise, remaining columns in the base table must allow null values. No aggregations having clause etc is allowed. Non-updatable view means contains aggregate functions, less number of columns than the base tables etc. So we can understand there are two types of the views. Clear? So there are two types of the view. So the view could be updatable view or non-updatable view. Clear? So this could be updatable view. Updatable view, and it means updatable means and write. Read and write views. This is non-updatable view. Okay, non-updatable view. So it means that which is completely read-only view. Clear? You can only read the data from the view. Let us understand some more interview questions from the views. Okay. If somebody asks you what is a view, what is your answer? What is a view? So view is a virtual table, right? So that's what we can tell them. View is a virtual table, right? Virtual means not real table, but it looks like a table because whenever you execute the view is going to be executing the query, and this query gets the fresh data, the result set. This is what is called result set or output, right? So the view result set or output looks like one more table only, and this is what is called a virtual table. So view is a virtual table. Okay. So can we does view store data anywhere separately? The answer is no. By default, views are not going to store the data anywhere. So always what? Always gets the fresh data. That's what you need to understand. Okay. And what are the other things that you can talk about a view? View can have a single query. View can have a complex logic can be hidden. So centralize the code, and you can create a complex logic, 1,000 lines of code inside a view, and that you can be called from the client applications. Network traffic is very less, and it is a database object. You can give permission to the views, permission to the tables. Giving permission to the tables directly is to the client application is dangerous. Always you allow client applications to talk to the view will go and get the data and show the data to the client application. Lot of other things are available. Now the question is, can I store data in a view? So this is the question people will ask. Can I store data in a view? And people may ask you, can I update data in a view? And the next question people may ask you, can I delete data in a view? You may get a confusion. View does not store the data anywhere. It is going to get the data always from base tables, right? So I'm not going to be keeping anywhere. For example, if I get salary, I'll give my salary to my mother. So if I need some money, again I'll go back and ask my mother, Mom, I need $1,000 or 500 rupees or whatever it is. So I'm not going to be having the money. I'm giving it to somebody else. She's going to store somewhere, right? So I go, and if I need the money, I am asking my mother. Mother is going to bring the data, the money from elsewhere. Clear? So can I store the data in a view? That means what? What is the meaning of this? You can understand like this. The meaning is, can I store data in a table using a view? So this is the meaning. Because we already knew views will not store data separately anywhere. But what they ask in the interview, can I store the data in a view? So you will get confused. So the meaning of this question is, can I store data in a table using a view? For example, you make the payment. Whenever you make the payment to a shopkeeper, do you think that the shopkeeper is going to be taking the payment, or shopkeeper is going to be giving the amount to the owner? So via shopkeeper or via store in charge, the amount will reach end of the day the owner, right? So you may be paying the payment to my accountant. So my accountant is not going to keep the money. The accountant is going to be giving me the money. So the owner will get the data. Who's the owner? Owner is the table. So this is a view is a on top of that there is a accountant, or you can think like that. So you are now giving a data to a view. View is going to go inside, give the data to the table. That means, can I store or can I insert? If somebody asks me, can I insert a data in a view? Can I store or can I insert, okay, data in a table using a view? So can we do? Yes, this is allowed. Can I update the data in a view? What is the meaning? The meaning is, can I update a data in a table using a view? So you're not going to be doing anything. For example, if I get money, the money I'm giving it to my mother. Mother is storing my money somewhere. If I need it back again, I'll ask my base table. Base table is my mother. So I'm the view. You can think. So you give me my money. My mother will get. So whatever the money I gave, she can bring that money. If I take, it will get reduced. If I add more money, it will get increased. So all these things can be possible. So can I update the data? Can I insert the data? Everything is possible. So, but whenever you do something to the view, view is not going to store data anywhere. So all the data is going to go to the table only. But that you are doing using a view. But people may ask you like this: can I update the data in a view? Yes. So can I update the data in a table actually using a view? Answer is yes. Clear? So these are very, very important thing. So can I delete the data? The answer is again yes. So if you're performing all these operations means, okay, so you're creating a view. View is, updating the, inserting the data, updating the data, deleting the data, selecting the data. Then this is what is called updatable view. Okay, and you have created a view, and only this is not allowed. No, and all these are no, and no, no, only set is allowed. This is non-updatable view. Clear? If you're able to perform only reading operation, remaining insert, update, delete is not allowed. So this is what is called non-updatable view. So this is what is called read and write view. This is what is called read only view. Clear? Let me give you a good thing. Okay, now let me close everything. Let me take only this one and delete everything. I'm saying use iBank, and always I write a query. I'm reading some data. So I got 18 rows. Clear? But actual table has lot of data. So actual table, let us read the data from the table. Table is going to be having a large amount of data. So this view is going to get only customers where branch ID equals to BR1. So this is going to be bringing only BR1 data. Am I clear? Now what I wanted to use, so how can we insert the data? So insert into account master table, right? This is how we're going to be inserting data values, and you're going to be giving. So already we have 160 total data. Let us see what is the total data in the table. 64. Last record is 166. Let me give the next record is 167, comma, let me write Leela. Okay, she is new customer, Leela, and she is from, let us say, Hyderabad, my city. Okay, where I'm there, maybe she's from the same city, and she is opening a bank account in branch BR1, and comma, and she wanted to open savings bank account, comma, and she's opening the account today. So we can give get date like this, right? So many people can ask me, so can we give get date as part of insert? Why not? We should be able to give get date. So functions can be used as part of insert, update, delete, and select. Okay, I can write select a get date here. I can also put get date functions anywhere, and this is what is called some amount. Let me say 1,000 and 1,000, and the account is operational. Okay. Now I can store the data like this. So if I wanted to store the data, I need to have the permission on the account master table. I can store the data. So one row is affected. You go there, you will be able to see this data, right? 167. So when you execute this, because it is a branch BR1 data, be supposed to get Leela also part of this view. Now you should be able to get that Leela. Okay. Now next time what I'm trying to do, I'm not going to use account master table. I'm going to use a view name here. So I am trying to insert the data, the next row. Next row is 168. Let us say the next customer or next customer, let us say Manisha, right? So Manisha is going to be coming. Let us say she is from Pune, and she wanted to open an account in this branch, and she is opening today, and let us say 2,000. Now I am inserting data in a table. No, I am inserting the data in a view, but we know that view is not going to store the data. But where it is going to go? The data, when I get a salary, I am not going to be keeping my salary. My salary, I am giving it to my mother. So when you insert the data in a view, it is allowed, but this is going to go to the table only. Let me execute. Is it allowed? Yes, it is allowed. Now you see the table. You will be able to get Manisha here. Have you seen this? So many people think that if I insert the data in a view, so it is, so you need not have the permission to go to this, and you are giving all the data to this fellow internally giving data to this guy. Clear? So you can see the data going via view to where? To the base table. So using this view, we're able to insert the data. Clear? So now this is done. So this view is getting
Question.
only BR1 data. Now, sometimes what I wanted to do, I wanted to insert some other branch data. For example, new customer came in 169, new customer came in. Let us say we got, K. Nitish is opening an account. He wanted to open an account from his own place called Kandla, Gujarat, and he's working, he wanted to open in branch BR3, and he wanted to have, let us say, 4,000 clear balance and unclear balance. Now, even though you're only for the BR1 data, but doesn't matter, this record is going to go. Now let me execute it. When I execute it, if you see the data, Nitish Kandla BR3, but whenever you execute this query, you're not going to get Nitish record, because this is bringing filtering the data only BR1. At the time of giving, it can take anything. It can take anything, but at the time of retrieving, this fellow is getting only BR1 data. So this is what is called beauty about the view. So people may ask you, can I insert the data in a view using a view? Yes. So all the data, whenever you insert, for example, this is you, and you're going to be inserting something into the view here. So now what happens? All the data from here is going to go back, okay, and it is going to be stored somewhere here. Clear? So you're inserting the data into the view. The view is going to keep the data where, Nana? All the data is going to go to the base table only. Again, you can retrieve the data. So whenever you execute the same view, you will be able to get the same data here. Clear? So that is what is the point. If you're able to perform insert, right, and update and delete, and read. Read means select. If you're able to perform all these operations means, okay? So then these are called as updatable views. Otherwise, it is called as non-updatable views.
Sir, question.
Yeah,
So when there are multiple tables and we have a query which is based on joins and subqueries, and then what happens if we insert?
yeah. Good question. Let me answer. So if you're able to perform all this operation, this is what is called as read and write views. Okay. This is what is called as read and write views. And if you can perform only one operation, what is that? So this is not allowed. This is not allowed. This is not allowed. And this is only select is allowed. And if this is the case, this is what is called as a read only views. Clear? And if I have join, for example, I'm joining employee table with the department table, right? So there is a employee table and department table I have joined, and I got employee, ID, employee name, employee salary, and I'm able to have a department ID comma department name. So when I say select star here, all these three and these two columns, total five columns will come, right? So five columns because I'll say select star. And if I insert the data, the question is that where the data is going to go. So whenever you insert the data, you can insert it to only one table, not to two tables. If you have especially joins, okay, if you have two to three tables are joined and you have a large amount of data in your view, using that view, you will not be able to insert it to all base tables at a time. Only one table gets the data. Clear? And remember one more thing. So if I have a subqueries and correlation subqueries and everything, so end of the day, you need to understand what are the number of columns that you have it. Clear? So if you take this, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 columns are available in this base table, and all the columns are available in this view as well. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Clear? So if you wanted to insert the data, base table as well as the query should have same number of columns. Otherwise, it is not going to work. Now you see, same number of columns to be there in the table and the view. Otherwise, remaining columns in the base table must allow null values, no aggregate functions and everything. Clear? So if you have three columns here, let us say we have three columns, employee ID, employee name, employee salary in the table. But in your view, you're saying select employee ID and only the name from the table employee, and you're going to create a view, right? So this is what is the view query. Now you are going to get only two columns, right? So when you have two columns, now can I use this view to insert the data in this table? The answer is no. Why? Because you have three columns in the base table, your view is having only two columns. So this is what is called result set of the view. So maximum you can have two columns can be inserted. This view is called VW get employee. Clear? So you can have only two columns, but here you have three columns. Now this view is called as a non-updatable view. You are not going to be using this view to insert the data because number of columns are not matching. Clear? Or we can insert the data here if the last column is allowing nulls. So you should be able to insert, let us say, 1 and A. So the 1 will go, A will go, and here you will be able to get null. Clear? So if you're not matching as a table definition means remaining columns must allow null values. In that case, this view is updatable view. Clear? So that is also one more point you must understand. And let me give you one more view. Now we are able to insert the data, right? So insert is happening. and I'm able to get the data. Now this is my data. I wanted to total 20 rows are available. I wanted to update a view. Okay, update view. So view name is this, and set C balance is equivalent to 12,000, where I can take one row, let us say billion. So account ID is equivalent to 101. So she is having this much of an balance. So I wanted to update both columns. So this one and this one, both columns at a time with the same amount. So you see balance, you balance, I'm updating with the help of a view. So whenever you update something, it is going to update in the base table. Let me execute it. You're able to update. So one row is affected. Now when you execute it, you should be able to see the original data in the base table. I'm executing the table here. See, I'm executing the table. The base table data got updated. Clear? So if the base table is updated, then anyhow, the same thing will get reflected here as well. Clear? So balance. Now I wanted to delete a row. Delete, from the view where account ID account ID is equivalent to, let us say, 169. This record, Nitish record, is available, or sorry, Nitish is not available in the view, right? Because Nitish record is BR3 data. I wanted to delete Manisha record, so 168. This record I'm going to be deleting. It's going to delete the record from where? In the base table. Let me go and try to execute it. One row got affected. Now you can see 168 row is missing. Have you seen this? So all these things are very much easy. You can perform insert, update, delete, select operations with the help of this view. This view is called as a read and write view or updatable view. Okay. So nobody is going to get the permission on the table. You will be giving permission to the base table. So you can delete the data that is available inside the view. So how many rows are available? You have, only 19 rows. Only these 19 rows you can update. These 19 rows you can delete. But in this table, you may have millions of data. You may have millions of data. When I create a view, and if I give the permission on the view, so using a view, any client, any application can insert the data, can update the data, can delete the data. So what max they can do it? So they can only cannot take all the data from the table. So they take always a subset of data they are in charge of. Because if I give the permission onto the base table, complete data is exposed to that branch. I don't want to, show complete my all the data to a single branch, because anybody can tamper the data. So using a view, we can hide lot of data. That is also one beauty, so that any branch manager can see only his customers data. But you can ask a branch manager to open an account to any other branch. So you can go to one branch, you can open an account, but you can tell them that I need a branch of BR3, not the same branch, home branch as this branch. So people will say no problem, you can fill in the application, your record will get added, your account will get opened. But tomorrow you can go to that branch and do your transactions if you wanted to do, or you can also come to my branch to the transaction. Account opening can be done in the any branch, but if you wanted to close or delete something, definitely you need to go to that branch and delete the data. Clear, guys? So all these things are possible with the help of these guys only. This is a read and write. So we had seen couple of other queries. Now other views we have, right? So branch count we are talking about. So this is the branch wise count. Okay. So let me show you this data. Using this, I am able to get only what is the count and each and every branch. Clear? If you see, There is aggregate function. When you say sp underscore help text, this is what is your query. And now the base table is account master table, and this is the output, right? So when you execute this query, do you think that you can store the data in a account master table? No, because this column is not available, and this column, only one column is available, but account master table has a lot of other columns, right? So when you have, the base tables and base table columns, and if you see this view columns, it is not matching, and it is going to be having aggregate functions and a group by clause. So this is only, you can call the view, only this one is allowed. You cannot insert the data, update the data, delete the data. So this is called as a read only view. Okay, this view is called as a read only view because we have used aggregate functions and group by clause, and less number of columns, everything is here. Clear? So when you have a group by clause and everything, what happens? Your view will become non-updatable, contains aggregate functions, lesser number of columns than the base tables. This is read only view. Clear? So these are the types of the views. Using a view, so inside the view, you cannot have insert, update, delete data. Using inside a view, you can have only the query. But after creating a view, you can use the view to insert the data, delete the data, whatever you wanted to do. So what happens? So you will go insert the data here. If you delete a record here using a view, the record will get deleted from the base table itself. Clear? If you modify something, that is going to be modified in the base table itself using a view. So view is going to be used for what? Not only for reading the data, selecting the data, but also inserting, updating, deleting. So what we can do? So if you are a client application always will get the permission to the view. Using a view, you can insert the data. Using a view, you can update the data. Using a view, you can delete the data. So you can give the data to the view. So the end user application will be having a permission to the view, not to the base table. Clear? So you supply data to the views, so that view internally will give the data to the employee table or the account master table. If you wanted to update something, so all things are done via view. View is a middleman. Clear? Base tables are wealth, creators, where you have large amount of data is available. So if you wanted to insert the data, update the data, delete the data, read the data, you should not directly go to the base table. This is not the way. Always you can go to the view and insert and delete and update. So that is the better way, so that you will have a better security on the tables. Clear? So either you can use a view, or you can use a stored procedure, or you can go in for functions as well. Clear? So the end user applications always connected to a view or a procedure or a functions. So if you want to insert, you can take a view and insert. If you want to update, take a view and update. If you wanted to delete, take a view and delete, but not, don't directly go to the base table. Clear? So that is a dangerous in the application development. If you create an Android application tomorrow, so Android is going to talk to the RDBMS via view, via stored procedure, via function. Tomorrow you may create a website. So website is going to be talking to the RDBMS computer via view, via stored procedure, via function. So stored procedures, functions, and views are middlemans. So the communication is going to be happening via or using views, stored procedures, functions only. The end user applications cannot go to the employee table or account master table directly, because it is a threat when you go directly to the tables. Clear? So that is not given to the end users applications. Clear, guys? So this is the advantage of this one. So tomorrow when we come, we going to be dealing with views with options. Clear? So we have a few options are available, so that we can have it. So yesterday we had seen, can we join a tables with views? Yes. Can we join a view with another view? Why not? You should be able to create a two views and you can join those two views, but you need to have two columns, two common columns, right? We can create a two views and you should be able to, get whatever you wanted to have it. It is very, very easy for you to join. For example, now this is one view. I'm getting it, right? I'm able to get this one view. If you have any other view, if you have any other view with the branch BRID, then you should be able to, join based on the branch BRID. Then it is going to work, right? So I have customer transaction info. So you can look for any view that is having a branch BRID, so branch wise customers list. So then you should be able to call this view with that view. We should have a common column. That's it. Any number of tables can be joined. So tables and views can be joined. Inner join, outer join, left join, cross join. Everything is allowed. Clear? So view is again table, right? So one table and one more table can be joined. But only the thing is that you need to have the common column to join for on condition purpose. So that's what is very, very important. So people may ask you all these questions in the interview. Can we join tables with views? Why not? You can. Can we have join view with another view? You can join, but only the common column has to be there. Clear? So tomorrow we'll discuss about these, encryption with schema binding, with encryption, with the check option. So after this, we have a beautiful uh, topic that is on indexed views. Clear? So views we are discussing now. Then after that, we're going to be discussing indexed view. So tomorrow will be, we'll finish it in what is a views and indexed views. Okay, views is very, very small topic, and the powerful topic is indexed view. This is also another 10-15 minutes topic. Tomorrow we'll finish, and from day after tomorrow, the day after tomorrow means from Monday, we're going to be starting with stored procedures. Clear? So nothing else. If you have any questions, you're welcome. What is a view? What is the indexed view? We'll discuss on tomorrow's class. We'll finish it up.